why I say we're complicit is we are the ones that are buying these things. We don't agree with this. We're going to the ghetto. 2-bedroom board house in a Mona Common. But worship the ground one mother walk on. Absolutely.
Wha Gwaan Munchy.
Miss Munchy, what we tell him?
I am Miss Munchy. Miss Munchy.
Are you run the thing so watch you now?
You know me I say Munchy. Yell up Munchy.
Wha Gwaan Munchy.
Reggaeville family, this is Wha Gwaan Munchy coming to you from the Reggaeville Easter Special in Munich, Germany. And I have the great honor to be with the woman of the night, Hempress Sativa. Wha Gwaan.
Blessings, greetings, big love and respect. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm alive and giving thanks and praise to the Most High, so I'm well. Yes.
Always, always. It's such a joy to have you here, and I stress the word woman because of the brand new album, the magnificent body of work that you just put out. Thank you so much, for the inspirational work. Empress, I have to quote something to do this accurately, all right? You wrote in the booklet, you wrote, as a woman, I must challenge the narrative long distorted by patriarchal design, and our power has been minimized, our wisdom overlooked, our voices too often silenced, but silence has never been our nature, right?
It's true.
Why did you decide that this body of work should be, as you said, an offering to women all over the globe?
Exactly for the reason why you quote. For me, I've noticed that over the years, like, the value of women has been diminished. Our voices have been silenced. We're told we're too emotional. We're told we're weak. We're men's rib. And it's almost like all of these colloquial terms and jargons and narrative is coming from a patriarchal mindset where they don't look at the real divine purposes of women. As women, we are always the oracles. We are the portal to life. Yeah. We carry such a vital role in society. If women are not present, there's a huge breakdown in terms of how the country runs, in terms of how the family runs. And I find that it's necessary for us to reclaim our power.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely necessary. What did you in life, or do you in life, experience personally as a woman? What challenges, what backlashes?
All right, can I be honest? Even now, being on this tour, and I love Reggaeville, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity, but even simple things like a dressing room and a bathroom, as the only lady on the tour, it's like you have to be fighting for these little small, minute little things. And it came to my realization that it's a man's world, literally, where there's not much minding our mindset is offered to women. Like, some basic simple things, they don't even consider us in these little regards. So for me, it's important for me whenever I see things like this, for me to speak up and speak out, regardless of who it might offend or who might look at me a certain way. We have to advocate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I know we who does, right?
Because they don't really understand what women face in the day-to-day world. I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and I'm telling them, even in my own country as a woman, if I'm going on the road, the mindset that I have to take on just to walk on the street, I'm sure no man has to think about whether somebody's going to kidnap you or somebody's going to rape you or anything like that. They just walk about and do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
So, like, real care from men need to be emphasized from men towards women, because not every man know about some man. Problematic.
Yeah, true.
And so they have to look within themselves and face the truth and make the changes there. It's not just a woman problem, it's also men too. Because in order for it to be a real balance, it requires both of us to work in unison.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what I found? You sing woman with them on the battlefield too.
Of course.
Sometimes I feel like we're the only ones on the battlefield, to be honest with you.
Fighting for our rights? Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like women are the only persons that take into consideration what we're going through, even though a lot of us have husbands and boyfriends, fathers. They don't really pay keen attention to the things that affect us, the plights of women, how we're disenfranchised in society. They don't really... I mean, like, for example, if all of this in your life, all the rules and laws is set to benefit you, I guess you're not going to pay attention to anything that's going on around you because you're privileged. As men, they've been privileged because most of the rules and the laws that govern the land benefits them more than women. If women got to work, back in the days, women could even work. We needed our husband to tell us that, imagine, allow us to work. Then when we get into the field of the work, we're not even paid the same amount, even though we're doing the same type of jobs.
Exactly.
So,
This very day.
so it's crazy to see. And in 2026, where the information is there, where if anybody is observing, you can really see, it's almost like men still don't see it as their charge and duty to do anything. And I love Uno with all of my heart and soul.
Yeah.
But we need balance. That's the reality. It can't just be this masculine energy dominating the world. We actually literally need the balance of women. We need more women to find themselves so they can stand up proudly in their true power and in their authentic, vital nature, because it's very necessary for us, for the world.
Yes, absolutely.
Over the years, whenever war is going on, a woman protests against it. We don't like wars. We don't like
start
it.
them.
We don't start them ever. You will never find a woman thinking about, let me go and rape a man. We're not doing that. We're more of a community factor. We're more of a village sense.
Absolutely.
And we just need one to just really like, don't look at us like, oh, they're being dramatic. Look and understand the things that we're explaining and the plights that we're bringing to light. It's important. This is the only way we can have things working in accordance, in harmony, in unison. You can't feel like every law is supposed to be an advantage to men and disadvantage to women. It shouldn't be like that. We should be equally yoked.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, just a month ago when the UN was voting for equal access to justice for all women and female, for the first time in 30 years, a country voted against it. They didn't even abstain, but actively voted against it. The United States of America actively voted for inequality and not having women and female the equal access to. I think this is crazy. It's not like we're stagnant, but this made me feel like we even moving backwards.
I agree.
You know, how does that make you feel? Does that frustrate you, or does that even motivate you even more?
One of the things I find with me this day, anything that affects me, I don't let it frustrate me. I let it be like a passion to fuel change. Because if I allow it to frustrate me, then it starts to corrupt my body. But if I put it outward and say, all right, then how can we fix? How can we assess? How can we make a change? How can we alter the narrative? I find that's a better placement of the energy. It's annoying to see that in 2025, that a country can vote against and not for. And knowing how many women living in the United States of America, it is very sad.
Yeah, it is absolutely sad. But let's twist it to the positive.
Of course.
What benefits do you see, or why do you appreciate being a woman in this world today?
One of my greatest appreciation in being a woman is I know I'm a life bearer and I brought life into this world. And wanna feel happy, wanna feel glad. So wanna have mothers who open out our leg and push out and never shut it and kill off someone. Yeah, be very grateful for the life that you have. And then you look on your mother and look at all women and tell them thank you. Because if we don't play our part, then there's an extinction in humanity. So even in that, in a sense, should make man look and say, Jano, let us worship the ground with them walk on, because we're literally God in life forms. The most I could have choose men to be bearers of life, but didn't. Why? That is the thing we need to ponder on. Yeah. So big up all women for the roles that they're playing. Yeah, whether you're bringing life or not, women by nature are nurturers. They are nurturers. It is not in our makeup to be the persons going around and want to start problem for the earth. That's not our makeup. We rather end all wars. When I'm looking into the Amazon, they're telling you that most of the people they're fighting for it is women. Women upon the literal battlefield risking their lives to fix a problem that men create.
Yeah.
Sad.
And them create enough.
Them create enough. I'm in love, no. I want to know, understand this. I am not against men. I am for. But the reality is, not because I am for men means that I don't speak about the issues that are affecting us.
Yeah.
We are part of humanity too.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are mothers, we are wives, we are sisters, we are aunts, we are girlfriends, we are all of these things to you men. But yet still you don't want to protect us within the world? How sad? How sad?
Absolutely.
How sad?
But we appreciate the fact that you are here as the woman on the lineup, represented at the Reggaeville Easter Special. Of course, we also give thanks for the brothers here that also are playing the music. For example, the brothers from Steel Pulse.
Here comes my summer. Catch me if you can. Says of me, here comes Rastaman. Abracadabra, catch me if you can. Catch me.
This is still Wha Gwaan Munchy coming to you from the Reggaeville Easter Special with Hempress Sativa and her wonderful new album Woman, which is out, and it was entirely produced by Dub Files Paolo Baldini. You know him for more than 10 years now, right? I remember I saw you at Vinyl Thursday when that was still keeping up popping in that garden place. And how do you recall your first ever meeting?
The first time I met Paolo Baldini, we never even really had like a conversation. He's like, I'm Paolo, like I'm impressed because he didn't speak English, and then he's like, Sativa, I learned English just so I can speak to you.
Wow, how sweet.
Baldini is a sweet person overall. I'll give him that. Very caring, very dear to my heart. I'm a big friend. So to be able to can from 10 years ago, we did Boom, and now in 2026 we're doing a full album. It's truly an honor. Yeah.
So you mentioned it already, but tell me a bit more. How is the chemistry like, and what do you appreciate about him?
I appreciate that Paolo Baldini is never upset about anything. I've never seen that man mad. And I can be annoying. I'm always making fun. And to just see how loving he is and open, it makes working with Baldini even much better. I love when, you can be a natural self-around person, you're not judged for it, and they allow me to can speak my mind freely and not offended as a woman. Being around a man and just saying, I don't like this, I don't like that. Like, Baldini is very open and receptive to the things I'm saying.
Wonderful.
So I'm very grateful that I was able to work with somebody who gave me the space to can naturally just, be my true self in terms of my writing, in terms of my delivery. Just the time in the studio was amazing, being around himself and his wife and child. It was a beautiful experience, and from there we're good friends now, man. I'm a big friend.
That is so important when you're a creative person and you need to express yourself without any boundaries or without feeling like you have to be hesitant because I walk
on eggshell. No, yeah. So I appreciate that. That's one of the key the key characters that I love the most about Baldini is how humble he is. Very humble. Very humble. I really don't see that much these days. So when I say that, I have to make mention and give him his kudos and say big respect to you, Baldini. Big up. Yeah.
Since you said so much about men, we also have to highlight the...
Of course, it's a balance. Like, even we as women, we have our own little weird ways about us,
Yeah,
every individual is facts. So just, everybody have to just learn to live in balance.
You mentioned he working with him and his wife and his child being around. In the instrumental list, I saw that Giulio and Forlock, also from Italy, a lot of people from Filippo Roberto from Mellow Mood, Tony, they are playing. You have to memorize that. So tell me a bit more how the actual production process was like. So you were actually in Italy recording it?
I was actually in Paolo's house.
Okay.
Upstairs in his studio.
Okay, wicked.
With his wife. So those background videos that you're seeing is from his beautiful wife Mimina. So it was a beautiful opportunity to see just how Baldini works in his day-to-day natural life. That dynamic. And then just to see, how he is as a musician. It's the same. he's a sweet person. He's a wonderful soul. It was beautiful to just get the opportunity to spend time within his soul, around his family, his wife, his child, even his aunt, who is 90. Wow. Big up Maria. Right. Yes, it's beautiful, I spent about 3 weeks in San Foca, in Baldini's hometown. So it was a beautiful experience, going to the studio, going back writing, and just taking in the vibes. And every time I get the opportunity to go to any place that's serene and peaceful, I always like to just immerse myself. So it was a beautiful experience from being in the studio to the hometown. I can't say anything bad. I'm very grateful. Yeah. Italy is sweet to me. Italy is nice.
It is a lovely place, man. It is in so many different aspects, also culinary and things. So yeah.
It is.
And I mentioned the musicians, and you have 2 collaborations on the album. One with the amazing, powerful Jalifa, the Ganja Spliff tune.
Did you mention that?
Yes.
I love her.
Yes,
Big up to Jalifa, Princess Jalifa from Trinidad and Tobago. What an amazing thing. When I said to Jalifa, I said, Jalifa, I want a verse on this track. She said, send it to me. I send it to her, say about 5 o'clock. By 8 o'clock, I get a demo back. Crazy, right? And she's like, tell me what you think. Amazing. I have a beautiful spirit, a beautiful person, and I can't wait for the world to see Jalifa. Like long overdue. She's been putting in the work. She has an amazing voice, an amazing writing pattern, a beautiful delivery. She has such a pristine voice. So I was very grateful to have the opportunity to good work with her. Yeah, so
the outcome amazing.
Thank you.
And then you have, of course, the previously also released Tiken Jah Fakoly, the Rastaman A Chant. And you mentioned that how necessary this song is in a world of confusion like we're having it today. How do you navigate through these challenging times, or what can you tell people if they are looking for a world and they are, I think we're all feeling pretty confused in these days.
And I can understand exactly why. Me growing up in the Rastafari community, all the days of my life we've been told about times like these. So for me, I'm not really surprised because we've been speaking about Babylon, the Babylon system for decades. We've been saying this. But when it's coming from a set of people whose society just looks like, all they do is just smoke herb and they praise this man. They don't really put any value or take the things that we're saying very seriously. But from my observation, Rastafari is very mystical. For you to be ahead of your time talking about Babylon and the things to come. From the 1930s and now we're in 2026, that's a long time to be speaking. And the only thing people take away is smoke herb. They don't take the message, and it's very sad. But I've always been observing, and for me, the way I navigate times like this is I don't allow what I'm reading and seeing in the media to corrupt my mind or further put me in a state of fear. I can't allow that, because then I become a victim to the system. So one of the things I would tell people is we have the ability to make a change in everything that we're seeing, because over the years, we have been complicit to the point where we are right now. And if I may be very honest, like when I look at the things that has been going on in the Congos, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it's 25 years. A struggle. And a little less for Sudan, but for so many years, they've been raping and pillaging Africa to the point where now they're millionaires, they're so wealthy. They can literally dominate the world. And the people never realize that if we were speaking up more for Africa, we wouldn't be here right now. Because all of the wealth America builds, all of the wealth where Israel built is off the back of Africans. Where are they getting these resources from? To make all of these smart cars and all of these computers on the phone is Africa. And so why I say we're complicit is we are the ones that are buying these things.
It is true still, yeah.
This is how they're getting their wealth off of us.
Yeah.
So collectively, we need to take a deep look in at ourselves, you know, as individuals, you know, and see how we can make more changes in the world on an individual level. Then on a global level, because if you're not right within yourself, we want to tell yourself to come together in our group. Because we're going to be one group of misfit. We're going to be one group of blind people waiting to be led. So as individual, we have to find the source within ourselves, the consciousness within ourselves to make better decision, not just decide what's going to benefit us, but what's going to benefit humanity as a whole. Yeah, but for people, I would say your voice is very important, and together we resonate and vibrate higher. There's this line from Midnight. It says, together we synchronize our actual weight and size. Evil will be trembling. Evil will be trembling, and it's true. Every time I ponder upon that very verse, I say, imagine if humanity as one just put aside this thing about race, creed, religion, and just class, and just decide that we're gonna move towards one humanity. It's not an impossible feat, you know. We don't have to agree on everything, you know, but we can decide to agree on the one thing that is beneficial to all of us. Because the truth is, we all want to see our children grow old. We want a good life, a peaceful life. We want to can afford decent food, organic food. We don't want to be finding ourselves in this system that is constantly telling us, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, and it only benefits them. To program our minds. So we have to be willing to unlearn some of the things that they have been teaching us to better understand how to live as a community.
Absolutely.
It's sad.
Yeah, it is so sad. Because I think that unity is the one thing that Babylon system fears, because that's why they try to divide us.
Of course.
We and them and these things.
And at the end of the day, all of us are in the same boat.
Yes,
Well,
and there are things that are bigger than us individuals.
True.
And I think a lot of people don't come to that state of mind yet, and to that realization, you know.
that is why we need to constantly speak.
Exactly.
Regardless of whether we're going to be cancelled, regardless of whether people are going to like us, we literally need to start talking the truth and speak up, out. And when you hear anybody speaking, advocating on behalf of the disenfranchised, don't be offended. Join them.
Yes, exactly.
Resonate the voice louder. Maximize the voice so they can hear clearly that we don't agree with this. But if when somebody is saying, oh, we don't like what you're doing in the system is against us, and you're there. Neutrality means that you're actually on the side of the oppressor. Yeah, we can't remain silent anymore.
No, sir.
Yeah.
You have to stand up. That's why I'm saying, though, that conscious music is a crucial pillar in this, as in spreading knowledge, spreading wisdom and inspiration. That's why I'm appreciative of the fact that you are doing the conscious music, and of course our other brothers out there also, who's on stage right now, the brother Alborosie, right? Whoa!
I show we do it in a difference. We keep up the world medal in a ganja contest. Breaking work, but I'm a bunch of it and the stress. This bottle marijuana in a bulletproof vest. Play a little thing for me, watching on. Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what life is really worth. Not on the glitter is gold. Life and soul is
It's from Hempress Sativa, also from Alborosie on the Reggaeville Easter Special. Hempress, we know that family is very important to you. And we know a lot about your dad, musician, sound man, producer. But since we're talking about women today, I would like to speak to you about your mother, Doris.
Finally.
Who is a poet as well.
Finally.
Tell me a bit about her and what role she played in your especially artistical life.
Absolutely. And I even go deeper than just the writing aspect. The way I dress, my attire, is inspiration from my mom. I used to steal her clothes and alter them and wear them.
Nice.
So my mother is like my greatest inspiration. I would usually take her. My mother is an avid writer, like books upon books, notebooks, journals of writing, poetry, like her own version of Psalms to the Most High. And when I read those, I would become so inspired, so touched, sometimes brought to tears by her writing. My mother is a wordsmith. If you give her a crossword puzzle right now, without even a thesaurus or a dictionary, she can tell you she's an avid reader, very intelligent woman. I admire my mom so much because she's resilient. My mom started having children when she was 15. She didn't know her mom until she was 25. But that didn't deter her from showing us all the love possible within her being. Is a selfless lady. I used to watch when we never have food. If she not to eat, she's not going to eat. If she has to go out there and beg, she's gonna beg with no shame. I'ma respect my mom for that, because to this day is my source of strength. There is nobody else that I run to more than my mom. Is the first person I talk to every single morning. First person. Queen. I worship the ground when mother walk on. Because I know her struggle. And then, some people go through some turmoils in their life and them allow it to affect them. My mother always tell me, you're not the thing you've been through, you're above that, Don't allow the things you've been through to affect your mindset. You have to keep going. I love you so much, Queen. You're amazing. Like, nobody give me so much inspiration and strength like so my mom. And it's important.
Super important, yeah, man.
It's highly important.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you mentioned my mom, because people don't really speak about my mom. They're so fascinated by the fact that you grew with a father that's a selector. Yeah. But that's just one half of who I am. What makes the whole is my mom. So big up to Doris Ricketts. I love you.
Hopefully one day I'll get to meet
You will. I'll make sure to it. You will.
Definitely
You will.
looking forward. But we mentioned inspiration. We mentioned your father. I think he might, or his history of sound system might have inspired Rinse Me Up.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Sound system in itself is through my father. I'm telling people, when I was growing up, my father used to call us, all 6 of us, here, take the mic. No, daddy, I don't want it. Put the vinyl on, put the version on, takes his camera out, starts singing. Whether we want to or not, as a little girl, we're growing at the ghetto. 2-bedroom board house in a Mona, come on. Our entertainment was to watch him prepare for the upcoming dance. And then he would always involve us by giving us the mic and said, DJ a song, sing a song. And even when I grew older, me and him used to share this little banter thing back and forth, because my room was adjacent to his sound room. And every single time he would play music while I was studying, and I used to say to him, can you turn the music down? He would turn it further up. And I realized that I'm not going to win with this person, so I better join him. And from my father playing the music, I would go to his sound room and start to inquire, like, all right, who is this person? And he would tell me. And then me and him start to talk about the songs, who produced the song, what is the character of the person singing the song, why he wrote the lyrics, who he wrote the lyrics for. My father have so many details when it comes to music. Him can literally give you a chronological order, date and time of when certain things happen in the music. For a man that is close to 80, his brain is very active.
But that's very good.
Very good. Very good. I used to see all man like Tapazuki in my house. Tapazuki.
Right.
Yeah, so my father was the first introduction to music, whether I liked it or not. Just every day, him getting up constantly, selecting, playing the vinyl, over and over again. My father's a type of person like this. To get up 5 o'clock in the morning.
And play the music.
I'm playing music straight back to 12 o'clock. I remember one time we were living. This doctor lived across the street. And it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, you know. And he's playing because my father have a sound, like sound box, stocked in the yard. He's playing. And he's playing for the community. And the lady, she came over and she said, can you please just turn it down? Yeah, man. So when she left, turn it back up. She got so upset. She came over there and hit the vinyl.
Off of the turntable.
Hit the vinyl off of the turntable. Father said, all right, no problem. She left. 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock before him stop. The man lock him door and just turn it on. She called the police. They came. Oh, I love it. All right, just turn it down a little bit. He's like, yeah, man. Cause everybody know my father in the community. When they left, turn it back up. I felt sorry for her. It's like the same thing he used to do me. But I mean, it's just his way of showing love and appreciation for music.
Yeah.
Like when I tell you, said the man eat, breathe, sleep, music, he never took a break from the sound room. Unless it was to find food or perhaps use the bathroom. That's the only reason. He's playing music from 5 to 5. And him have a room like this full of vinyl. Cassettes, tape, the old time flyers from the shows. That's his world.
Yeah.
That's his world.
But you know, it's so lovely when you have a passion for something and you are so diligent and dedicated to something positive as
It's
well,
true.
you know?
Absolutely truth. I remember people used to say to me, say, your father is one of the first person who I used to sneak out of my parents' house to go and listen to. You know how great your father is? When I've been listening to your dad since I'm like 11. I used to sneak to go to all the Jalifa dance, student union, UE, Olaba, you name it. Like when I listen to the history and I look on the joy in the people and face, it make even me have more respect and appreciation because believe it or not, whether people want to accept it or not, he's a pioneer in the sound system culture. A pioneer maintaining the orthodox style. And usually only could I hear the orthodox style when you go to a Jalifa dance. Because they're playing, they say the orthodox style is to speak to the art.
Yeah.
And so all of the music that he would play were specifically chosen. I'm telling you, the man would sit for hours, go through, write down on a piece of paper, listen to it, and say, okay, this fit the vibe. And only music for the art. So that is one of the reasons why even I can't depart from speaking conscious lyrics, spirited music, because it's the foundation of me. It's what I grew up on. It's the only thing I know. Even to this day, I don't even really listen to certain music. I listen to the roots foundation music with message. I would never dare corrupt my mind with anything else. So respect to my parents, Doris Ricketts, for giving me the word sound, and my father for showing me the musical aspect of it. So big respect to both of them.
And you mentioned the inspiration for making music, for making conscious music. What in particular inspired Woman?
Being a woman, just seeing life through my own eyes and reading and learning about all the great queens and the part that they play on the battlefield. And when we say battlefield, we don't necessarily mean like fighting wars. Because women play an intrinsical role within the nation. They tell you, educate a woman, educate a nation. Very important, because you know that the women are going to be the one to grow the children and responsible for their mind.
Yeah.
So society is literally in the palms of women. So when you diminish our value and you make us insecure, what kind of society you think you're gonna look forward to? It's only best if you empower us to find our voice and to find our power and to keep speaking so we can be able to provide better humans. Yeah. We can teach our children better. We can be more of a positive influence on our children. Yeah.
Crucial in perilous times like this. Hempress, you said it. It's in our hands. Thank you so much for doing the music that you do and spreading the message, the conscious message, the love. And thank you so much for sharing it with us today on stage and with me here at Wha Gwaan Munchy. Enough love, enough love.
Wha Gwaan Munchy.